REMARKETER. Empowering Realtors.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining me today. So as you've read in the email notification that we sent before about the webinar, today what I'm going to be talking about is all the different services and capabilities that are available on your website with your remarketer service. And you can really benefit from promoting these as the services that you have to offer to your basically potential leads, so that you can generate leads from multiple factors of the services that are available to you. So if you do a quick search online and for real estate services, you'll find out that most of the landing pages are just search results, and that's a generic tactic pretty much for real estate lead generation. It's based on the fact that most of the people who would be searching online are potential buyers and are looking for latest results. But the fact is that that's probably the least unique way that you can advertise your services, because not only pretty much everyone can offer search, but the fact that there are much more powerful services available out there, and they're no secret anymore. Websites such as realtor.ca, which are built to deliver that search pretty much, is really difficult to compete with. So that's why I wanted to bring to your attention that there are all sorts of other services and also unique ways that you can utilize search to differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack, whether you're actively running paid campaigns or you're simply promoting your services on social media, for instance, with posts that you're sending out there. As part of your branding, as part of your establishing a brand name out there, you should always associate yourself with the technology that you have available to you and with this kind of services that you can provide using that technology. So let's go ahead and check things out and see what we can do together to increase that wow factor in your marketing activities. All right, so I'm going to take you through several different solutions, and I'll try to give you some different ideas as well in terms of how you can take every one of these services and create your own niche pretty much with the way that you promote things. So I'll have a mixture of different things for you today in terms of what services of it are available, how you can differentiate the services, and how you can promote these services utilizing the tools that are available in REMARKETER. All right, so first things first, the main two things that are available on your website are the two call to actions that every one of you have by default on your website. So we have the how much is your home worth, as well as the new listing alert. So both of these are tools that are available on every REMARKETER website. However, the utility of these tools are different based on the package, the subscription package that you have. So if you're a Lead Master package, there's an automation associated with these tools. If you're not a Lead Master package subscriber, then you still have these tools, but the automation part is not attached to it. So you'll basically generate the lead, but following through with the lead is going to be your own responsibility. So that's the only difference here, but I will explain to you what each one of them would pretty much do. All right. So the first thing is let's start from the new listing alert, which is closer to the the generic search thing that we were talking about. So basically, the way that this works is that the system will capture the information about a potential buyer. You're going to put in your first name, last name, email number, email address, phone number. Select the property type. So, for example, if the person is interested to purchase a detached property in, let's say, Richmond Hill, with a specific budget, and they can submit the form, and you will get a notification with regards to the form, and you're going to be able to send listings according to that search criteria over to that person. All right. Now, another way to establish this is by providing search to the user and then requiring them to register. So let me show you how that works. So this is basically the generic approach, the search approach. So let's just get that out of the way and then get into the other properties that we have available. So the search tool that you have is available at the top right corner, the top menu, and this is the search function of the website. Pretty much, it's a VOW search. It includes properties from the VOW source. Depending on your board membership, you have different sources available, different types of feed available here on this map. Now, the default basically, so if I click on this, the default location is based on the areas that you select in your website configuration. So if I go down here under the website configuration, if I go to the extra section, we have a custom search section here. So the default section that you use, so for instance, if I select Richmond Hill here, so go by the same areas that I have here. So I'm going to select Ajax, for instance, Ajax, and then Saga, and then what's the other one? Aurora, and Vaughan. Okay, let's save this. If I go to my website again, let's go back to the homepage. This time I'm going to click on search. Now, the difference here is that it's not going to start off in Toronto as it did before, but rather it starts off in Ajax because I selected Ajax as the first target area that I'm active in my custom search sections. Now, as soon as I select these in the custom search sections under my website configuration, I have a new section added to my website, which is this section right here. And you can see the 4 areas that I selected are reflected here. The default of my search at the top has now changed to my first focus area. So if someone clicks on search, not that they're not going to be able to search anywhere else, they can still search in anywhere else pretty much. So if I change this to, let's say, Toronto, Ontario, it can still search Toronto as well. If I search this, change this to, let's say, I don't know, Barrie, Ontario, you can still search, the Barrie area as well. So all of the areas for which your board feed includes properties on, you can still search, but the default when someone clicks here would be the area that you have selected as your main focus, as your main area focus. Now, let's get back to the website configuration. One of the things that you have available here to configure is the property detail log. So this is pretty much what every other website out there does. So if you want to limit the number of properties that can be viewed by the user on your website in order for your website to force a registration after a few visits on the properties, you can go ahead and configure this item right here, property detail log. So I can say, for instance, I want the system to prompt the user after 3 property searches, after 3 property views, for a registration. So when someone starts viewing properties, so for instance, if I look at this property, now I've already reached my quota there that on my browser, that's why it's prompting me. So pretty much they would see 1 property, 2 property, and on the 3rd attempt, they would be forced to register. And once they register, then they would be able to continue their search right there. So this is pretty much the classic approach by providing a search result here and a search tool here, and having people register once they want to access their a property on your website. So you could set this to be always, meaning that even the first attempt, they're going to be prompted. 1 after 1 property viewing, 3, 5, or 10, or never. So that would pretty much never prompt the user to show, so basically to input their information. And there would be other factors. So for example, let me take a look at one of these properties. If I scroll down, there are similar sold properties. These would require registration. There is transaction history. This would require registration as well. And there's also other factors here. For instance, receive an instant property analysis generated by state-of-the-art artificial intelligence. This would also require registration. You can see that there's an AR-powered prompt here as well. So as soon as it detects that the person is looking at detached properties in Ajax, it basically prompts them as well. Are you looking for a detached property in Ajax for sale? And if I click yes, then it's going to give me an option here, register to get notified as soon as new properties are listed. So see, this is pointing back to the listing alert function that we talked about earlier. And as soon as the person puts in their information, the system would know that we need to send this person, this new registrant here, detached properties in Ajax. So that's the least we need to know, and we're able to provide that information automatically. Again, if you're a LeadMaster package subscriber. These 2 functions, this one, the AI generated prompt, as well as this one, are part of the LeadMaster package subscription. Otherwise, your sold properties, for instance, if someone clicks on the sold properties, they would have to register in order to be able to gain access to recently sold properties around that property of interest. Or if they'd like to see the transaction history, that's the same fashion. Again, they would have to log in to view that. All right. Now, let me close this one and this one. Let's go back to the home page. Okay. Now, you have 4 properties here, so 4 objects here. Basically, these are property searches that are specific to those areas. Okay. So the first thing that you can do to promote search through whatever medium that you're using to promote this service is that you could use these items here to promote a little bit more specific search. So for example, instead of just saying, find the latest properties listed on MLS, for instance, I can say find the latest properties listed in Aurora. And the way that I would do that is that I would use this link, this URL here, to promote my service. So let's imagine that I am posting a Facebook post on which I'm promoting Aurora real estate, and I would like to have a link on my website to be pointed to from that Facebook post. This would be an ideal link to use, because when I'm talking, let's say in that video post that I'm posting on Facebook, I'm talking about Aurora properties. If someone clicks on that and comes to my website, rather than landing on a contact page or just simply on my homepage, they could land here on the Aurora search properties search. So, and their search is pretty much starting from Aurora. So it really connects the bridge. It makes the connection, and it would be what the user who's been clicking on that Facebook post expecting to reach. And once they reach this, then they're going to be prompted to register, for instance, if you have configured for them to be registered here, or they might be interested in one of the extra services that you're providing on your website to log in. So, for example, if they are interested to see similar sort properties, they're going to be able to click and register and view. Or if they're interested in receiving this service, which I will explain to you a little bit later, or if they're interested to see the transaction history of this property. So all of this can be achieved by the user registering on your website. So, simply promoting and providing information would allow users to hopefully become interested in what you have to offer and become your lead. All right, now, this is pretty much the simplest form that we can do this. Now I will show you a tool that can make this a little bit more interesting. Now, this tool is available with Lead Master Package subscribers, and it's the link builder here. So these are some built-in landing pages that you can alter for the purpose of your marketing. So we have the 4 different options here. The first option here is a listing alert. So here's when we would like to encourage someone to provide us with their information so that we can send them alerts, listing alerts. Now, the simple format was just the listing alert form here, which is asking for the information. And then it'll tell them that, this is what you will be receiving: recent listings, recent deals, property type comparison, market activity. So these are the stuff that you would be receiving once you fill out this form. Now, what we do here is we will be a little bit more selective. So I'm going to select, for instance, detached properties. And I'm going to select the minimum price as, let's say, 1,500,000. I'll tell you why, with no maximum price. And the city, I will use, let's say, Richmond Hill. There we go. All right. The reason why I chose a high minimum price is because, for example, what I want to promote is luxury properties in Richmond Hill. And based on my assumption, anything above $1.5 million, I might be wrong, in Richmond Hill would be considered a higher end property. So I select my criteria and I click generate. Now this system builds a landing page link for me. And if I click on this bubble right there, the system is going to pull the landing page for me. So you can see that the landing page is pretty much the same as we had before, with a difference here. The difference is that we have some properties shown at the top here. And you can see, because of the way that I configured the price, I am in fact pulling up upscale properties, higher end properties in the ranges of $2-3 million here, and showing up here. All right. If I want to change this, let's say, for instance, I don't want these 1.9s and stuff to show it here as well. So let's go ahead and change this to 2 million and generate. So I have a new URL here, which is going to show me $2 million and above. So now that looks more like proper luxury properties that I can promote on the, let's say, social media, for example. All right. So this way, the way that it works is that the system is providing some of the information. So these are, in fact, properties, luxury properties in Richmond Hill that are available. And once they want to view any one of them, the system would ask them to register. So once they register, the system can also continue sending them such listings, luxury properties in Richmond Hill, to them on an ongoing basis, right? So that information would be available to them automatically. So that's part of the Lead Master Package subscription, again, as I mentioned. Now, what I'll do here is that I will use this URL for my marketing purpose. Now let's prepare a marketing piece here. So I will go to graphics, and I would like to use this general card to create a marketing piece. So I will select that. I like this template here. And I would like to now change the topic here. All right. So instead of saying thinking about buying or selling, I would like to format this by saying, all right, so we have different options here. So for instance, I can select buying and selling, home valuation, we'll use that later, or listing alert. So I have a built-in option here, new listing alert, get notified when new properties, a new property is listed in your desired area. So that's available by default. You could just use this and promote on your social media, for instance. Now I want to change it. I want to change it to Richmond Hills luxury properties, for example. And I'm going to say get notified in Richmond Hills let's say most luxurious properties market. All right. So I can now format this. Richmond Hill luxury properties. I'm going to change that to an H3, for instance. And then here, I'm going to change this to an H2 or even an H1. Richmond Hill's most luxurious properties. This one's going to be, let's say, red. Something like that. All right. So I can build my ad, and I can also change the background as well. So if I want to select another background, so let's say luxury property. Let's say I want to use I don't know, let's say for example, I want to use, let's see, something that's a little bit luxurious. I don't know. Let's say for example, I want to use this one. Bang. So I can use I don't know, whatever. All right. So if that makes sense. So you can create your ad like that, and you can download this and post this on social media. The link would go to this link that we just built here, right? So when someone clicks on that link, they will come to this landing page on your website that's relevant to what they liked and clicked on your social media page, right? So this way I can create uh, again, I can provide a search function. However, that has been adjusted to target a special niche, right? So you can do that for all sorts of niche markets. You can create landing pages for first-time home buyers. You can create landing pages for renters. You can create landing pages for downsizers. You can create landing pages for I don't know, luxury properties like this one. So all sorts of different niche markets can be addressed by you simply adjusting the criteria in your link builder to create and adjust a landing page. Now, another option that we have here, this one is promoting listing alerts. So this one is promoting the fact that someone should register in order to receive the listings, and we're not really showing the listings. You can also provide them with a search. So we also have a property search option right here, which I can again go ahead and configure, right? So I can again put in, and this function here is a little, a lot more flexible in terms of how you want to style your search compared to the example that I showed you before. So let me just repeat that again for you. The easy way is to configure your focus areas and then use the URL available here. So that's Mississauga market report, right? So that's just for Mississauga. It starts off in Mississauga, and you can use this to promote search in Mississauga. But now I want to take this further, right? So the address is going to be Mississauga. All right. I can even put in a location, latitude and longitude, which I will show you later. The status could be for sale or for lease. The property type could be all these options: single family, row townhouse, condos, etc. All right. So let me go ahead and select condos here. The property type is going to be apartment units. And then I'm going to select, I don't know, 3-bedroom apartments. So these are larger apartment units. All right, let's see what we can get here. So what I'm trying to focus on now is that, for people who are looking to buy larger condos around the downtown area. So I'm selecting Mississauga. Let me go through. All right, so let's just keep Mississauga here for the purpose of this demonstration. Generated the link, click on it, and now we are looking at properties that are 3 bedrooms here, 3 bedrooms here, 3 bedrooms here, all that, right? So I have all sorts of 3-bedroom apartments close to downtown Mississauga, which would be suitable for families that need to be situated in the downtown area for probably commuting reasons, for example, right? And all of those are available. So now I can have an ad running, 3-bedroom apartments, downtown Mississauga. And this is where you would need to go to. Of course, they can go ahead and change the criteria afterwards, and they can search in any way they like. But I have prefabricated the search and provided this for them so that they can really start off where they would expect to start off, right? Now, let's go ahead and change this a little bit. Now, what I want to do is I want to advertise properties that are available for sale. Let's say close to a point of interest. So let's say I want to advertise properties that are close to, where should we say, University of Toronto, right? So let's say I really want to promote that area. Okay, so let's go ahead and create another property search here. So the way that this works is this. I'll go to Google Maps. All right, and I will search for University of Toronto. So that's the University of Toronto right there. All right. And what I will do is that I will find a location here. So for instance, in this area, St. George and Bloor, and I will right click. And here is the longitude and latitude. Okay, so I copied the longitude and latitude. And now I'll go back here. I will use that here. Okay, I hope I haven't put them the wrong way, but we're going to find out. So I'm looking for properties for sale close to this location, and I don't care about anything else. So this one is basically based on a specific point of interest. It's not on a, downtown Toronto or, downtown Mississauga or, any specific city or neighborhood. It's a specific point of interest, right? So I'm looking at this specific intersection right here. All right. Let me just get rid of all these extra stuff here. And let's try this out. There, you see, it basically centered this junction right here that we specified, and it made the search around there. Now, I don't want the search to be that generic. I don't want this huge area to be included there. So therefore, I would like the system to zoom in and look at this specific area. So for instance, I want the zoom to be around this selected here, view over there. So that's where I can use this zoom here. So let's say I want to have a higher zoom. Let's try 15 here and generate that. Let's see. Oh, okay, so that zooms out. Sorry about that. Let's try 11. Okay, so I clicked on the wrong button there. This is zoom 15. You can see that the zoom is here, and it basically came further in. So I can be more specific in terms of the zoom. So if I change the URL to zoom 16, for example, now I am, closer to what I would like to show. So I'm a little bit more specific in terms of the area. So any property in this view over here is pretty much, let's say, about 5 to 10 minutes away from my point of interest, which was this intersection right here. So you can see how flexible and fluid this is, and we're going to be able to play with all these functions here in order to come to a very unique search result, which we will be able to then promote using the graphics module or any other way that you are promoting your property. Let's say you might be, walking in that neighborhood over there and talking about it with a video of yourself, and you can promote that on social media, and again have a link to a search property option on your website, which is again going to be a good way to practice that. All right, so this is search, and I showed you a couple of ways to make it different, make it unique, and have a different approach in terms of providing search to your target audiences. Another option that we have right off the bat with your websites are the home valuation function. Again, the home valuation is a functional option when it comes to um, Lead Master Package subscribers. So if you're a Lead Master Package subscriber, your home valuation looks like this. So it takes the address. Once the address is filled in, then the system is going to be able to create an automated home valuation that looks something like that, with some benchmarks and statistics and information and similar properties to that property to give the potential seller some idea of what the potentials of the property could be. And then obviously you can follow suit and get in touch with that person and do a more thorough and realistic home valuation as well. So this is automated for Lead Master Package subscribers, but non-Lead Master Package subscribers also do have a landing page for this, which is, the difference is that it's not automated. The system will not automatically generate the home valuation. And in fact, it'll submit the information to you, which you will then perform the home valuation and provide whatever report that you have to the potential lead there. So the difference in wording when you're advertising it is, here you can advertise an instant home valuation or an automated home valuation or an AI powered home valuation, things like that, that might be of interest to a certain subset of the audiences, of the seller audiences out there. But I'm not going to get into the functionality of it. We're talking about the landing pages. What I want to show you is another option that we have here under Link Builder for home valuation, to again create another system of landing page for the home valuation. So again, I can be a little bit more specific. I can say detached properties in a certain area. So this time, let's select, let's say, Brampton. So I'll select Brampton here and generate. So now I have a home valuation landing page, which is a little bit more informative. First, it provides the number of transactions in Brampton over the past 90 days and provide you with an average sold price. So the first thing that a potential seller who wants to see the value of their property would want to see is the stats and information about the market there. Then we have all the sold properties that would obviously require registration for them to view. And then we follow that with how much is your home worth. So we can give you a free and instant home valuation report where the user can put in their address, and then the rest of the story follows. So you can see that we have a different home valuation proposition here, which is more than just a simple form to fill. This way, we're at least demonstrating the fact that we're equipped and we have information available. And based on this information, we're going to be able to give you an instant home valuation, which is then going to be advertised right underneath. And that's exactly what you can also advertise there. So we do have built-in graphics for that. You can use the general cards here, and you can use the home valuation card, right? So receive your free home valuation report. You can change that, receive your instant home valuation report. So all of those things can be put in here. You can customize the message and put it out there on social media to do the home valuation for you. All right. So for well, basically to run a home valuation campaign, if you want to say. All right. So that's another item that you have. Now, there are other, so these are, the main two call to actions that we have on the website. And, one is targeting sellers, one is targeting buyers. Now, the other things that we have available on the website that can definitely be promoted for home value, for lead generation are these. Let's go to your website. right here. All right. So one other important factor that you have on your website is market statistics, and that is, a unique feature of your website. Not all the websites out there provide market statistics for your target areas. In order to select these target areas, again, let me demonstrate. You go to website design, website config, and then right under extras, you have the market reports section that you can select. So I've selected these 4 areas again that you can see are reflected here. So for instance, if I go to Aurora market reports, you have the market analysis for Aurora up to date with the latest information available and updated every month on your website. So now you can see that we have specific call to actions here as well. So get monthly market report of Aurora, and people can subscribe to get the monthly market report of Aurora, right? So what happens there is that as soon as the lead subscribes here, they're going to be able to receive Aurora market report automatically every month. And that happens if you're a lead master package subscriber. If not, you would have to send them the market report, which, we've talked about with newsletters, for instance. You can have Aurora market reports sent out to people who've registered for that. But this happens automatically with lead master package subscribers. If the person registers there on that landing page, so I'll show you one of the leads here. So basically what happens is that under nurture and control, the market report for Aurora is going to be enabled, and that person will receive Aurora market report by default. So that's what happens once that form here is filled out for Aurora. And we have the same thing for all the other areas as well. So if I go to Vaughn, you can get the market reports for Vaughn. So again, you can actively promote this landing page. This landing page on its own is a fully functional landing page. So you can advertise on social media, anywhere else, that you have the latest market statistics of your area of Vaughn, for example, right? Another thing that you can do here is that you can advertise this on your flyer campaigns as well. So flyers are pretty local. You can advertise and say that, if you want to see the the city's latest statistics, go to this link right here. Once they land here, they might be interested to subscribe and receive the statistics every month. You can even advertise that on your flyer. So we're not just talking about online ads, we're talking about offline ads as well. So you can use this landing page as a call to action on your flyer rather than just having a, call me for a free home valuation that everybody puts on the back of their basically flyers, for example, right? So that could be part of it. This could be another offer that you have available on that flyer. So you can have different offers every run that you send out a campaign out there. All right. So market statistics is again another good option that you can promote. All right. Now, let me show you another thing that you can add. Now, this one, all of you guys can add it. It's another registration form that's it's available, but it's hidden, but you can activate it. So let me show you how. You can go to your website design, go to your website config, go to the main menu. We're going to add a new menu item. So add a menu item, and here I'm going to say newsletter subscription. Right? And the link is this. You can make a note of it if you want. So slash newsletter dash a hyphen subscription. So that's the link. / newsletter hyphen subscription. That has to be the link. Add it. So now we have a newsletter of subscription. I can add that to my menu. All right. You can add it under tools or wherever, right? So I'll just add that to my menu. Just click on the plus and I'll add it here, save it. Let's go back to the website and refresh here. So now we have a newsletter subscription button right here as well. Once I click on it, it'll take me to a really simple form where you can put in, a first name, last name, and email, and then subscribe for the newsletter. And then you can send them the newsletter every month. So either you can simply go ahead and once someone registers, you can either just go in and switch on the newsletter for them, which is automatically done, this one. Or you can set a specific market news if you know, or you can include them in your custom newsletter that you send out. So you have monthly newsletters that can automatically be sent out, or you can create your own custom newsletters to send out as well. So that's again another service that you have available, and that we can create pretty sophisticated newsletters using the custom newsletter function right here. So why not promote it? You can really put a couple of these out there and say, this is the type of newsletter I prepare every month. So it's got all the information about a specific area or neighborhood, for instance, and I have the stats, and I have latest listings, and I have latest news, and I have videos, and I have all sorts of information in that newsletter available. So why not subscribe and receive it in your inbox? So you can actively promote the fact that you can provide a sophisticated newsletter. Again, not a lot of realtors can build newsletters that easily. That would include, for instance, the market reports of a specific area, let's say C14 of Toronto, and have that sent out on a monthly basis to their peers. You can even include specific listings. For example, you can include the latest listings in that area, the recently sold properties in that area. So you can create all of those. You can even create buttons for search as well. So let me show you. So for example, here I'm creating a newsletter with the C14 market report. Let me change that to something that might make better sense to those of you who don't work in Toronto. So let me go ahead and select that's the Rep market report. That's why I don't have that. So let's say I'm going to select Markham. All right. So that's the Markham market report. Next, what I'm going to do is this. Let me go ahead and right-click here and open this in a new tab. That's my link builder. Property search. Let's do Markham. For sale. Single family. Detached. 4-bedroom. Minimum price, $2 million. So again, I'm going for that luxury property thing. So I have a URL here, right? I'll click on this bubble right here to copy the URL. Let me first test it. Always test your links first, right? All right. So here are, the latest luxury properties in Markham. Good. Now, what I'll do is this. I will go back here, copy the URL. That's copied now. Then I'm going to add a button here and paste the URL there. Latest Markham luxury properties. Now I have a button here that when someone clicks on, they're going to land on this page right here with the latest Markham luxury properties. So you see, you can even create, call to actions and generate interest in your audience within your newsletters as well. So you're sending out an email include these kind of things in them as well. It could be a flyer, include these kind of things on your flyer. It could be a social media post, include them in your social media post. It could be a paid ad. You can have this URL used in your paid ad. So all your communication should include call to actions with interesting information that are available on your website. Market stats, listing alert, search, and then you can basically redefine them to create an edge with the way that you are promoting your services right there. So look at your audience. If you're, advertising in a magazine that would be used by first-time home buyers, use these tools in order to configure your search for first-time home buyers, configure your market reports for first-time home buyers. All of that could be configured and crafted to appeal to first-time home buyers, and then promote that on your magazine ad, for example. Rather than just simply having your picture and a phone number, you can advertise a service that can generate interest in that target audience much better than a super passive picture and phone number on an ad right there. Okay, so that's again another option that you have right there. Another thing that you can promote, obviously, are single properties. So you can promote single properties on your website as well. And again, a super simple way to do that is by going to your listing manager, adding a specific property. So that could be your own property, or it could be a property that you got off the MLS. So let's say I want to promote the most expensive property in Richmond Hill, for example, right? So what I'll do is that I'll hop on an MLS and find what's the most expensive property currently listed in Richmond Hill, and I can go ahead and pull that here just by adding the MLS number, right? So let's do that. It's simple. I'll just search for Richmond Hill. Tool, sorry. Let me go to search. And let's just say the minimum price, I want it to be 5 million. So these are, let's zoom out here and see what we have available here. We've got I think this could be the most expensive one, a $12 million mansion in Richmond Hill. So simplest way to do that is that I can just take this property ID, go back to my website, go to Listing Manager, click on Add New, add the MLS number, add it in. Now I have the most expensive property available on my website. Now, let's check out the website. Let me get rid of these. Let's check out the website. It's also promoted under featured listings. I don't want it to be promoted under featured listings. How do I do that? I just click on this heart light here, so it's not featured anymore. There we go. It's not featured anymore. So it's not really diluting my properties and what I have to available. I'm adding this for a different purpose. So I have a campaign that's promoting the most elegant property in a specific area, right? So I have a different objective there. All right, so I added that, and it's not featured, but it's available for me to now promote. So here I go. I can go ahead and use the graphics option to create a listing card, or I can use the general card and use one of those pictures there. And I can have the property different landing pages. I'll show you the different landing pages there. So let's go ahead and use the listing card, for instance, here. Now the listing card is you could use the property there. You can use a specific picture, right? So let's say this is the picture that I want to use. So the most expensive property, see the most expensive property in Richmond Hill, right? $12.8 million. You can use this and write about it in your post, and then link this to your website, which I will show you. Or you can just simply take one of the pictures, download one of the pictures. Oops, sorry. Let's go back to Listing Manager here. I can get one of these pictures, for example, right? So I can download one of these pictures and then use it in a different graphics module. For instance, using it with a generic code, so I can have my own thing written on it as well. All right. Now, once you do that, then you have a couple of options. Either you can have the link pointed to this property itself. All right. So basically, what that would look like is, let me just quickly feature this for a second. Refresh. You can point it to this URL right there, and they will land here. So the systems, provides certain information like transaction history, for example, and again, it's interesting for people to take a look at. Another option that you have is that you can go to the link builder and you can select single property. So here I'm going to use this. Two options. Do you want it to be branded or unbranded? I'll make both for you so that you can see the difference. So here's the branded version, which is the same. And the unbranded version, which would be this one. So the difference is that it doesn't have the menu at the top, so that it doesn't really take away the focus from this specific property right here. All right, so that's the difference between branded or unbranded. You have another option as well, which I suggest using that one instead. You can go to Listing Manager here. You can go to the edit option in front of it and then go to the open house. This is the URL that I would use for this property, because what it does is that it promotes a virtual open house pretty much, on which they can download brochures. It's a little bit better presented. They can see virtual tours, etc. So all that information, but a little bit better presented. And the system will force a registration before the viewer is allowed to see this. Now, the reason why you didn't see the registration here, because I had already registered on my computer on this browser. So the system detects that and bypasses the registration and shows the property for me. But what I would promote is, take a look at the latest, the most expensive property in Richmond Hill, and then once people click, they come here, they would have to register, and then they would see the property right there. So I'm promoting it like a virtual open house. Get a virtual open house of the most expensive property in Richmond Hill. That's how you can generate interest. A lot of people aren't going to buy this property, but it's just an interesting topic for curious people who want to come here. And then you have a soft lead there, which, down the road, if you nurture property, you can have the option of, maybe doing business down the road with them. So that's, again, another way that you can do that. So I'm going to stop here because we really had a lot to talk about, but you can see that it really is not just search. There are a lot of different services that you can promote. Statistics, properties, search, different forms of search. You can really craft all sorts of different services using the tools that you have. You can promote instant home valuation. You can promote, AI powered home search, for example. These are the things that you can, reword and put out there to promote different aspects of your services, and you have all the tools available on your system in order to promote them. And this way, you're not going to be the same as every other agent out there. You have different material to promote, and every time you can come up with a different proposition, which can create a better competitive edge for you. All right, let me get to the questions because I see a few questions here, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so the first question is from Stephen. Thanks, Stephen, for joining us. Does the system send us a notification if we get a new user registered? Yes, you will receive an email when a user is registered. Also, always check this area here, message box. This is everything that's happening on your website. So for each one of these, you will receive an email as well. One of the things that you should remember, you don't unsubscribe from those emails that you're receiving. The email would be coming from service@remarketer.ca. And because if you unsubscribe there, then none of the communication will reach you. But even if that's the case, you still have the records right here. Another thing that you can do is that if you download the Remarketer app, and that's available on, if you go to remarketer.ca, you can scroll down and download the Remarketer app. So if you have the app installed on your phone, you will get an instant notification on your phone or your Apple Watch when a registration has happened on your website. So you would definitely not miss it in any way. All right. So the next question is from Hong. Thanks for joining us. What is the difference between Listing Manager and Listing Courier? So Listing Manager is where you manage your listings. So basically your listings would be available on your Listing Manager. You can also add listings to promote listings here by sharing to social media. You can also email a listing here, but the thing that this would basically email is simply the feature sheet. This is going to be emailed to the receiving party. Now, Listing Courier is designed for email marketing of listings. So you can create campaigns that are a little bit more graphically proper, to be classified as an email campaign. So you've got different templates available here to create email brochures for your properties and send them out. So for example, if I want to send out an open house invitation flyer, I can select this template there. I can put in my flyer campaign. Like that. Put in a message, come to our open house, bring your friends, refer to anyone who you think might be interested. Then I can select the property and I can generate an email campaign that looks like this and send it out to my contacts here. So Listing Courier is simply designed for email marketing of listings. Listing Manager is where you manage everything about your listing, whether you want it to be featured or not, whether you want it, you want to register for open houses, so you can have open house registrations there. You can send out, you can get um, the virtual open house QR code, for instance. And by the way, this is also another way that you can advertise single properties as well. You can put this on a flyer and send it out as well as a virtual open house ad campaign, for example. So you have access to all aspects of your listing to prepare your listing for marketing. You can add pre-constructions, for instance. Here you can add non-MLS exclusive listings. So all aspects of your listing manager are under the listing manager here. So I hope that answered your question. So the other question is by Stephen again. Can we set a date for an automated monthly report to go out, or is it set to the first day of the month? So it's not the first day of the month. Basically, the day that the automated home valuation the market reports go out is right after the reports are released by the board. So that's usually after within the first week of the month. So that is triggered right after that, so around 5th to 7th of the month, and that's when it really goes out. So it's not on a specific date, but it's released right after the boards release their information. And it happens at the beginning of the second week of every month, usually. Okay, another question. Are we allowed to add properties from MLS to our website? That's a good question. Usually when properties are listed on MLS, it also has a configuration that allows third parties to advertise. So when that's checked off, it usually suggests that you are allowed to advertise it on your third parties. Make sure that you don't continue to advertise the property once it's sold if you haven't had anything to do with the sale of the property, obviously. But most of the time I've heard that it's suggested that you reach out to the listing agent and get their permission to advertise the property on your website as well. So the best person to ask this question is your broker of record. But technically, these are the aspects that we have. So if the listing agent has selected the permission to advertise on third-party portals, that would technically provide you with that permission. But it obviously wouldn't hurt to reach out to the listing agent as well if you want to actively advertise the property. The other question that we have, Hannah, is I tried to add a new pre-construction to listing manager. After that, I sent an email to a client. It did not open and only displayed a QR code. We'll have to see what you've sent out because it doesn't include a QR code for the pre-constructions. I will just quickly demonstrate what you should have done, but if that's not the case, send us the email and forward it over to us, and we can find out what's been going on with your email. For a pre-construction project, what you would need to do is to click on Add New. Click on Add New, add your pre-construction project here. Then once you add the pre-construction project, so I've got these pre-constructions here. You see everything that's the type is new development. These are all pre-construction. So you will have one of these available once you're done adding that. Then you would need to go to Listing Career and click on Add New. Here we have a specific flyer for new development. So you have to use this one. So what I'll do is that I'll select this, and then, whatever my flyer campaign title would be, I'll put that in. Then I can select my pre-construction project. So let's say Olive Residences here. So as soon as I select that and generate it, this is how the email should look like. If they click on this, they're going to come to your website with the information. registration, etc. So it should look something like that. You save this, and then you send this to your contacts. This should be the process. So if you haven't done this, make sure you try it this way, and it should work properly. We don't have a QR code attached in any way, but otherwise you can forward that email over to us and we can investigate further and see what's been going on there. Okay, so that's it. I hope this session's been informative for you. It always makes sense for you to think outside the box and see how you can use all the tools that are available to you to promote yourself and promote services that you have out there. So put them out there and people will definitely show interest. Things like market reports, market stats, and market updates, and newsletters, and listing alerts, and home valuations, and all of these are services that you can use in different scenarios from different perspectives, and promote them, put them out there on social media, on your print material, etc. And people would definitely show interest because you're promoting something that not everybody does. And that's how personal branding is done. All right. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks again for taking the time. It was a pretty long session that we had. I will leave it at this, and then I'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.